G'day guys, welcome to my round 20 predictions of the NRL. There are some massive changes to teams to get through. There is only 5 rounds of football left. Let's get into the video. First game, which I had a slight lean all week towards the North Queensland Cowboys side for a bit of vengeance after the 1-point thriller that we had earlier in the year between these two sides. But the fact now that the number 9 veteran, Robbie Farah, after 300 games has announced his retirement today, and the fact that it's being played at the Tigers' main home, that being Leichhardt Oval, a Thursday night thriller, but I think it'll be fairly low scoring. I'm going to tip the West Tigers. I've got to lean towards them now. They're grinding out these gritty wins against team, and I would even take the Cowboys to lead at halftime and the West Tigers at full time, because that's what's happening quite a bit lately. But I'm going to tip the West Tigers by 6 points, 18 points to 12. Scott Drinkwater and Corey Thompson is going to be a fantastic matchup. They're both playing some really good footy. Also look forward to Michael Morgan being back in the side. As for the ins and outs, you've got Michael Morgan. Gella Mosby is named in the reserves. And for the Tigers, in jersey number 21 is Josh Reynolds. He has a chance of playing, but we'll have to wait and see if there's enough room for him. But for mine, Tigers by 6 points. The next game is the Warriors up against the Raiders. Now, as I said in my video, and I don't want to get controversial with this, but this is getting out of hand between the Warriors and the Eels last week. The CEO wants all the fans going to Mount Smart Stadium to dress up as referees. I mean, it's funny, but how stupid can this get? Now, Isaac Luke confronts the judiciary tonight. He is named in the number 9 jersey, but someone will take his place, I assume, if he does not get off the judiciary. This is a hard game to pick. The Raiders are in true form. I just think that after last week, that some of the referees' calls are going to purposely go towards the Warriors, and they're going to put in a big fight here. Canberra also have a short turnaround, a long trip, whereas the Warriors, they're inconsistent at home, but they're heading to home field, and I think it's going to be an advantage for them. Cody Nikorima is back in the number 6 jersey, and I'm actually going to tip them. I'm going to tip the Warriors by 4 points. I think the Raiders will put in a big fight. There'll be plenty of points, and I'm going to tip the Warriors 20-18. The next game, played at Suncorp Stadium, is the Brisbane Broncos against the Storm. I think this will be a really good game, and it could be like the Manly in Melbourne, a really close game. But in my opinion, the fact that Melbourne lost at Amy Park, I think, is going to really piss them off. And as well as the Broncos are doing at the moment, I don't think they can win this game. And I'm going to tip the Melbourne Storm by quite a big one here. My score prediction is 1 try to the Broncos. I'm tipping the Melbourne Storm 24 points to 6. I think we're going to see some really good defence from players like Jesse Bromwich, Nelson Asafa-Solomona, Dale Finucane, Felice Kafusi. Their forward pack's really going to stand up in defence. Don't know who's going to score for the Broncos at the moment, but Melbourne Storm for me by 18 points, 24 points to 6. As for the ins and outs for both sides, Tavita Pangai Jr. is out for the Broncos. Matt Gillette is back in the side, and Tom Flegler is also back on the bench, I believe. Is he on the bench? No, he's in the starting side. He's playing at lock number 13. As for Melbourne Storm, welcome back Suliasi Vunivalu in that number 2 jersey, and I do think the Storm will be too good here at Suncorp. This game down in Lotto Land is the Manly Sea Eagles up against the Newcastle Knights. The Knights are really struggling here, and Nathan Brown has really brought the axe upon players this week. Now, Danny Levi at hooker, he's gotten rid of. Herman Sasa is also dropped. But Jesse Ramian is also dropped. And I understand that Jesse Ramian does drop the ball sometimes, but he's a phenomenal player. In my opinion, he's one of the best players in the Knights team, and I think it's a big loss for them. As for the ins, you've got Aiden Guerra named in the side. You've got Lachlan Fitzgibbon a chance of returning from injury via the bench. Actually, no, he's named in the front row at number 11. Manly welcome back Api Coruscant in jersey 19 and potentially Brendan Elliott in jersey 20 still in the reserves. Now, I think Manly win this. I love the way they played against Melbourne. They were really grinding it out for an 11 to 10 point win. I'm going to tip a low scoring one again, and I don't know why, because I expect points at Lotto Land, but I'm going to tip the Manly Sea Eagles 22 points to 12. The next game sees the Bulldogs at Bankwest up against the Penrith Panthers. Now, it's being paid at Bankwest, and for that reason, I expect quite a few points in this match. And I think the Bulldogs are in with a really big chance here, but I'm not going to tip them. And the reason I'm not going to tip them is because the Panthers have had experience of playing at this field. They have a really big advantage, not just as a better team in the comp here, but the fact that they've played at Bankwest and beaten Parramatta there, the only team to beat Parramatta there, actually, if I might add. Jaden Ockenbaugh is named in number 20, which is a massive in for the Bulldogs if he does play. And Brendan Wakeham is in jersey 20 due to Lachlan Lewis and Jack Cogger being in the halves. They're meant to be long-term halves. I saw Lachlan Lewis maybe signing a contract for the Bulldogs, which I think is good because he's a good player. As for Penrith, there's no ins and outs really. There's just players that are named on the reserves, but there's no fairly big names for either side here besides, I guess, Jaden Ockenbaugh. I expect the Panthers to win this one by 12 points, and I'm going to tip them 28 to 16. I think there'll be quite a few points from the, I guess you could say, sucky sides, and what I mean is Bulldogs, Titans, Dragons. I'm going to tip the Panthers here by 12 points just due to they have played at Bankwest before, so they know what it's like. The next game sees the Cronulla Sharks up against the Rabbits. Now, this will be a thriller, and if I didn't see the Sharks team earlier today, I would have definitely had a big lean towards the Rabbits at 13 plus. But there are some massive names for the Sharks coming back. You've got Kyle Flanagan named in jersey 21, who is fantastic. Matt Moylan at fullback. Andrew Fafita back from suspension. And Wade Graham will play his first game since Origin Game 3, in which he found some sensational form. Corey Allen is named in number 19 for the Rabbits. Sam Burgess is named in the side. It's not confirmed whether he'll play yet, but he is listed. But that has happened before. But I think he'll play. I think this weekend they'll need him. It'll be a big match. And I do think the Rabbits will win this one. But I would not be surprised if players like Wade Graham lead the Sharks to a victory at home. But I'm going to tip the Rabbits here 22 points to 14. Cody Walker found a bit of form playing against the Dragons last week, and I just think they'll be a little bit too good here, and that's why they're second on the ladder. Now, everybody's expecting this next game to be a world record breaker, a 50-4 and a 70-0 and all this stuff. Now, I think that the Titans against the Roosters are going to put in a massive fight here. Players like Anthony Don, who is a try-scoring legend. Callum Watkins was fantastic last week. I don't think that they will win this game. I think the Roosters really do click, but there's a few changes for the Roosters. Now, I'll get my tip first. I do think the Roosters win well still, and I'm tipping them by 14 points. 32 points to 18, which means the Titans have quite a few tries in them in this match, which we haven't really seen lately. The Roosters have some big outs. Jared Weir-Hargraves out for suspension. Siasia Takiaho is out due to injury. And Boyd Cordner, your captain, is also out due to an injury, which is a massive out for them. AJ Brimson and Dale Copley are out for the Titans. Riley Jacks is in. Ash Taylor is named in jersey 18. I can't wait to see him back on the field and whether he does play good or bad. Brenko Lee, Riley Jacks I just mentioned. Matt Ikavalu is named in jersey 18 as reserves for the Roosters. But I think the Roosters will be too good here. But I do think at the SCG, the Titans put in a massive fight, 32-18 to the Roosters. And the final game of the round at Cogra, 4:05 on Sunday. The Dragons taking on my Parramatta Eel. Now, we are shocking away. Besides in Sydney, we beat Bulldogs at ANZ, we beat Penrith at Penrith, and we won a home game in Northern Territory, which we really need to bottle up if we're going to be genuine contenders. And I do think that we have got the better team in this side. We've got a really strong team this week, in my opinion. In for the Eels is Josh Hoffman, Andrew Davey named in jersey 21, who was fantastic last week at Wentworthville Magpies. Michael Jennings is finally back for us, which I think is a big boost. Penny Terapo is back for the suspension in number 19, but I think that Murata Nakore in interchange will be swapped, or Daniel Alvaro with Penny Terapo. We'll have to wait and see. Sean Lane's back. Ethan Parry is out, and Oregon Kafusi is also out, which is a shame because I think he is a fantastic player. The Dragons welcome back Ravalaura into the side, and Tristan Saylor is named in jersey 18. I think we'll be too good here, but I do think the Dragons put in a massive fight. It's going to be a close game. It's going to come down to who wants to win it more. You could say the Dragons have that advantage of home field, but we have a really good record against the Dragons, and I'm quite confident that we can win this game. I'm going to tip the Eels 24-16. If Micah Sevo plays like he did last week, and Mitchell Moses continues that running form that is leading the try assist in the competition, I think they're a massive chance. Wonga Blake was fantastic last week, if I might add as well. And if he brings that again, I think... But I've got to say, Ewan Aitken, Gareth Widdop, who else? Cameron McInnes was fantastic last week. But yeah, Ewan Aitken and Gareth Widdop are both playing some really good footy at the moment. And Jason Saab is named at number 2 for the Dragons once again. So I'm tipping the Eels 24-16. Those are my tips for the round. Let's get into my best bets. In the best bets, let's make it nice and quick this week. I'm going to go for Parramatta Eels 1-12. I don't think they can get a 13 plus against the Dragons like last year. I'm going to go the Storm against the Broncos 13 plus. Just confident the Panthers at Bankwest can win. Back them in this multi. And the Tigers against the Cowboys at Leichhardt. That's paying $20.81. Now, the try scorers you can back as a multi or singles. As a multi, this is insane. As singles, though, you'd get some good prices for some of them. So I'm going to go Corey Thompson for the Tigers game. I'm going to go Gerard Beale from the Warriors. He almost scored last week, but off a forward pass, it wasn't a forward pass. You can have your own opinion. I think he'll score this week. Cam Munster. I've got a really good feeling that Cam Munster's going to cross in this Broncos and Storm game. And yeah, I'll speak about him in my mega as well. Ruben Garrick, he's really good at Lotto Land. He got a hat trick against Parramatta. He's a try-scoring freak, backing Ruben Garrick. In the centres, I'm going to back Dean Vare for Penrith Panthers against the Dogs. Fairly weak defence, Dean Vare. I've got Dean here, but it's actually Dane, so sorry about that. Dane Gagai for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I was thinking about backing him first try scorer, but he was first try scorer last week, so we'll wait and see. Victor Radley for the Roosters, I've also got a fairly good feeling about with that weak Titans defence. He's playing some really good footy at the moment. And Parramatta's Manu Mahu to cross for a try against the Dragons. That's paying $4,811, which is an insane price for some of those being some try-scoring gems. My mega multi for this week is crazy. I won't get it, but let's give it a go. Cam Munster, first try scorer in the Storm and Broncos game. I've got a good feeling about it. The Panthers win against the Bulldogs head-to-head. The Warriors beat the Raiders 1-12 due to a home ground and last week's disappointing loss. And the Dragons lead at halftime, but the Eels get the better of them at full time. That's paying $547. So obviously gamble responsibly, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your tips in the comments. We're now on the road to 1,000 subs. I'll be announcing my giveaway very shortly. Please do hit that subscribe button if you're new and leave a comment. Thanks for watching.